how to fulfill your cherished wish, and why don't our desires come true. Let's continue our fascinating tale. If you missed the beginning, be sure to check it out on our YouTube channel. I'll leave the link in the description. Now let's continue. So, we remember our wishes. Do you remember? Do you have your most cherished desire, or even a few? What have we already discovered? Well, first of all, ancient Sufis depict a person as a cart pulled by 3 horses, with a drunken coachman and a sleeping master in the carriage. What does all this mean? The cart represents our body broken because it is sick. The 3 horses symbolize emotions, sexual energy, and the instinctual center. We talked about this in more detail in previous videos. They are our driving force, and a lot depends on them. But then there's the coachman, the drunken coachman, representing our intellectual center, our mind. And why is he drunk? Let's break it down step by step. First of all, the coachman is the helmsman. And I think you would agree that our mind controls everything. Our thoughts about how everything should be arranged tell us where to go and what to do, and they actually shape our desires and dreams, right? Our mind governs our emotions through images and imagination, directs sexual energy, and can even draw energy from the instinctual center. How? I talked about this earlier. Now, it's very important for us to understand that our mind is constantly intoxicated. What does this mean? It means that we are dazed by a huge number of different influences. We don't know whom we should best conform to or whom we should please. Should I be a good girl for my mom, please my husband and strive to be the perfect wife for him? Or perhaps the most important thing is to be a good employee and please my boss at work? Wait, I also need to become a mother, a good mother. Everyone needs to be pleased. It's necessary to conform to all the images that the people around you impose. Is that so? Of course, our mind goes crazy from all this. It doesn't know what to grab onto, where to run, or which goals to pursue. And there's also a huge amount of information bombarding our minds from all sides. Advertising, various images that evoke emotions. Remember? With the reins of imagination and images, we control our emotions. But if we don't do this consciously, then someone else ignites our emotions using the same images. But think about it. If someone wants to sell you perfume, they'll show a beautiful woman with a charming man. And in reality, you're not just buying perfume in the store. You're buying the image of a passionate relationship with a fiery, handsome guy. But perfume doesn't guarantee that he will come into your life. Do you understand what I mean? Or if a man wants to sell a sofa, they'll definitely place a beautiful woman on it, right? And if they want to get you to sign up for a loan, what will you see on billboards, posters, and advertisements? Of course, it's a happy family, joyful, smiling faces, with dad, mom, and 2 children hugging. And of course, you'll get all this as soon as you take out a mortgage. These are all images that are implanted in your mind. Naturally, they evoke emotions, and we start running in the direction that advertising leads us. This is how it works. If we don't provide ourselves with strong images, they are imposed on us. And of course, from such an onslaught, our mind becomes intoxicated and goes crazy. It doesn't know what to do. After all, everyone, absolutely everyone, needs to please others. And the biggest factory for creating images and manipulating the mind is, you've probably already guessed it, television. Of course, there, our consciousness is manipulated as they wish. We are shown various series, talk shows, programs, and broadcasts, where most often we see hysterics, arguments, conflicts, and negative emotions. Why? Well, because this stimulates the emotional center the most and keeps us sitting in front of the television. Additionally, Seeing a life worse than yours makes you feel better. This simple principle underlies all TV shows and talk shows. Splash some dirt on someone and you'll feel better. Doing something nasty brings joy to the heart. This is the simple principle of gaining pleasure. Negativity pours in on us from everywhere, from the news, from shows, from series. We are bombarded with negativity from all sides. What else is left for the mind? To get drunk. Our mind doesn't want to see this reality. He's just drunk. A drunken mind is an illusory mind. And how does the world appear to us when we're sober? Everything is murky and unclear. The sea seems shallow, and they even say that to make a woman look more beautiful, you need to drink a bottle of vodka. Everything is distorted. It is with this distorted, drunken mind that we perceive reality. And even if there is something in this world that can sober us up, help us awaken and see the world as it truly is, it inevitably gets mixed with dirt, clouded over. God forbid the mind should sober up. After all, it's much easier to manipulate and control someone who is drunk. A drunk person is weak-willed. Wherever you push them, that's where they will run. This has always been the case throughout history. Remember Christ. When he entered Jerusalem, people called him king and threw palm branches at his feet. They worshipped him and called him the Son of God. Yet just a few days later, the same people were throwing stones at him and shouting, "Crucify him, crucify him." This is why Christ said, "The crowd is blind and most people are foolish." This was said about that drunken mind which is susceptible to any manipulation. Just give it a few vivid images and it will follow them. In modern times, the great mystic and sage Osho was called a sex guru in the newspapers and on television. His name dragged through the mud, trying to convince everyone that he was a true libertine, leading people down the path of degradation. Even now, after Osho's death, some people still believe he truly was that way and shudder at the sound of his name. All of this is created by the mass media. They can tarnish anyone's reputation. We have encountered various forms of slander and completely absurd accusations. Only a person with a clear mind can see this world for what it truly is. Our minds need to sober up and rely on our personal experiences, rather than on someone else's words or images, which bombard us from different sources: neighbors, parents, television. If these were words of wisdom from true sages, it would be one thing. But often they come from people who themselves haven't achieved what they wanted in life, yet they try to teach us how to live. We need to be very careful about where we get our information. Otherwise, it will only cloud our minds, making them increasingly drunk. And where can a drunk driver take a carriage? Certainly the horses will scatter, and the carriage will get stuck in the mud. This leads to all our ailments, to discomfort and weakness in our bodies, to our lack of discernment and poor choices in men, and to all negative emotions. How can we sober our minds and learn to see the world as it truly is? It is essential for the master in the carriage to awaken. The one who sleeps in the carriage is our consciousness, our master, our spirit. And when he awakens, he will put everything in its rightful place. But to awaken in spirit, it is necessary to awaken our conscience, to ignite the love in our hearts, and to awaken our souls. This happens when we begin to help others. It's very simple to do. You can help a stray animal, like a kitten crying in your building, just by feeding it. You can do more by assisting an elderly woman, like your neighbor who is struggling to gather enough change at the store to buy even basic groceries. You can join our volunteer movement, and we will support all your charitable efforts, as we have been doing this for decades all around the world. And as soon as you start helping others, as your soul begins to awaken and your spirit starts to stir, when your heart begins to tremble with love and gratitude to God, only then will you learn to see the world as it truly is. The driver will start to sober up, and your mind will no longer cloud your vision. It will become your ally in achieving your goals. Strong images will guide your carriage forward toward great aims and the fulfillment of your desires, making them attainable for you. You will be able to do everything, absolutely everything, believe me. Thousands of our students have walked this path, and you can too. Want to give it a try? It's very easy. Register for our live sessions right now. You'll find the link in the description. You can attend these live sessions completely for free. If you're joining us for the first time, our care team will reach out to you after registration to inform you where and when you can attend our classes. Once you're there, you'll meet those powerful women who have learned to manifest their desires and know how to make their dreams come true. Everything is actually much simpler than you might think or imagine. I'm serious. Don't believe it? Check it out. Quickly register and wait for our care team to get in touch with you. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell icon. We have so many more interesting videos prepared for you. Be sure to share this clip with a friend, especially if she's not near you. If you're watching this in a group, share it with everyone who doesn't yet know how to manifest their desires. Let's create more happy people in the world. Will you promise to help with that? Then see you soon.
In our extreme times, when the fate of the entire planet is at stake, it is crucial for the knowledge of angels and benevolent spirits to spread as quickly as possible, globally, and reach thousands of people. In this way, we can change the future of all humanity. Which is why we are addressing you, dear soul of light. Spread the knowledge about our wise books and films. Share links to videos or cartoons. All of this is available and free. Invite women to individual practices, webinars, and seminars. And the Great Spirit of Light will help you and your family. It will direct an enormous amount of energy to fulfill all your desires. Benevolent spirits and angels will assist you and your loved ones in all matters. A thread of light and love extends from your heart to the hearts of thirsty women, and the creation of good and the dissemination of enlightened knowledge throughout the world begins. Become part of the mission of light. Help people, and God will help you.